All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at Borderline Lake Sunday, May 15. This is the 9th round of jump happening. This is Kerry McCollum, San Diego State. First jump, takes a pass. Last night we were running the Malibu Response 6.2 liter. This morning and all day we've been running the 2016 Nautique 200 with the 6.2 liter. So the big boats for the big jumpers. We're down here on the dock. We've been going since about 8:30 this morning. So the crowd's thinned out by quite a bit. Everybody's trying to make their flights back out of Seattle, Northwest. Not the most central location for an event like this, but it's worked out well for us. See if we can't get a little better vantage point down the lake. Kerry McCollum right on the cusp of a 100-foot jumper. Low to mid 90s, I think, is kind of her best at 32.5. Oh, I already have 3 viewers, and we didn't even advertise we were going to do this, so welcome. So once again, Kerry McCollum coming down the lake. Takes the second jump. Must be feeling okay. Yo, yeah. National Chairman Jeff Surday enjoying the event. Nice and relaxed. Wave hi to Jenna Bachman. We're not near a radio, so we're not hearing distances right now, unless the announcers turn up the volume a little bit more. Oh, there's Scott Greenwood's just joined us. Welcome back. Sorry, we ran a little later last night. Didn't get to see your boy go live, but it is archived. You can check out the NCWSA at Facebook for last night's video. Our winners last night with 181 feet, Santiago Varas. 165 feet for Sam Greenwood and 164 feet for Curtis Williams. So big jumps at night for the college kids. Kerry McCollum, jump number 3, third and final jump. We're trying to listen in for distances. We'll get them to you as soon as we can. We've seen some big jumps out here today already. Dane Meckler jumping in early in the 5th round at 150 feet. Another big jump from our tournament director, Matt Kienbaum. PB by 24 feet with a 124-foot jump. Previous best was about 100, right about 100. So big jumping from our tournament director. Great time to do it at his home lake. Last tournament of the year. Yeah, I got 3 viewers. I got Greenie.
Nice.
And Sam Hansen from UC Davis. I did it on my personal and tagged at the NCWSA. Yeah, and then so once again we're in the 9th round of jump here for All-Stars. Carrie McCollum just finished her jump set. And we're making our way. Looks like we have a Midwest skier. Hey, you're welcome, Scott. We'll look forward to doing this at your place next year. Hey, Christy, who's your skier? This is skier Dylan Britton from Kansas. Also a night jump competitor from last night. It's somewhere 100 teens, I believe, if memory serves. He also went 5'32", but he's going to be double cutting here today. One of the very few kids going on double cuts this weekend. So jump number 1 for Dylan Britton, Kansas, Midwest. Britton, I'm sorry. I think I heard a 114 for Dylan's first jump, or 114. So, again, leaderboard looks to be right now at about 150 feet. Dane Meckler out of Louisiana Lafayette and the South Central region. I think there's been a 124 put up by both Matt Keenbaum from the west and Josh Kelly from the east. I haven't heard anything in between so far yet today. We'll get an update for you as soon as we can. So Dylan pulling out on his first counter, turning about the 6:25 mark or so. Well, that's a bigger jump right there. That's probably pushing into the mid 120s, maybe to late 120s. Things start to wrap here on the wrap up the final day of All-Stars. The final couple rounds of jump, or our champions and podium positions should come out of. Although, like I said, Dane Meckler jumped in there earlier and put up a 150-foot jump in the 5th round out of 10. Your phone's broke.
Hey, Russ.
Yo. I don't know. Go to the go to our Facebook page and see if it's there. No? I don't know. I got 5 or 6 viewers right now. All right, Dylan Bertain coming in for third and final jump. He's made his counter. Britton. Dylan Britton, third jump. Yeah, probably not as far as jump number 2. Probably. You hear any distances for his jumps?
No.
106, 106 feet. 106. Got a lot of lift on that one, but not much out, so didn't have quite the cutting edge he needed to get the speed required to go far. Sorry, Emily, didn't catch a second distance, but I'm gonna guess whatever that was his farthest. You have a friend. Rob Ryan, the Eastern Chairman, getting a new friend. Funny how dogs and lunch coincide with friendship. Next skier is Riley Dalton from the Midwest. She's, I think she's also going to be one of our first girl triple-digit jumpers. But we'll soon find out once she gets up and over that ramp. I do believe she's been a past medalist at All-Stars. So looking to get on the podium one more time. Alright, another double weight cutter where she pulls out to the left side of the ramp first. Oh yeah, definitely in the 100-foot mark. Probably again in the high 1-teens, so we'll take it. We'll listen close to the camp for a distance for Riley. If anybody's watching Christy Kingsmill's feed, she's wondering if she has audio. We had some issue with that last night. So Riley Dalton coming in for jump number 2. We're setting up at least. have a radio. I haven't heard.
No.
Run upstairs. After Riley's next jump, I'll move upstairs where we can hear directly from the judges' mouths distances for these final jumpers. So Riley Dalton coming in, jump number 2. Right about the same. I don't see much of a difference in distance there live. Probably again in the high 1-teens. So I'm going to cover up the camera so nobody gets seasick and run upstairs.
How far did you jump?
123. 37.6.
So Riley Dalton, 123. 123. All right, we're back. Riley's second jump was a 123 foot, 123. So a little bigger than any of us expected. Watching from the shoreline. We moved up top to the judges' positions. Grabbed ourselves a radio so we can hear exactly what's going on and get it right to you guys. I hear the drone behind us flying again. Try to capture some impressive shots that way. Riley Dalton coming in, jump number 3. Probably got a little bit more on that one.
7-4, 7-8, 7-2. feet, 127.
127, 127 for Riley's third and final jump. So almost 130 foot. Highly respectable jump, even out jumping some of our boys so far. So that's a sign that we are in the true top competitors now. So next skier here is Zach Cachell from Alabama in the Eastern region. Going top speed for tonight. He was one of our night jump competitors last night. Came in fourth, just a foot behind third place at 100 with a 163 foot leap. He stayed on top of the leaderboard most of the night last night. So definitely one of the favorites for the podium here today. Zach is also our newly crowned Pine Ride champion, where the ski carving contest that we had yesterday, each region got one 2x6 to carve down into a ski. Slap an old fin on it, some old Goodwill shoes with the toes cut off so everybody's feet could fit, and go out there and run passes. And we had to stop him after 4. He was going to keep going and probably reach 35 off if we let him. Emily, Riley's furthest jump, that was number 3 at 127, 127. So now this is Zach Cachell in Alabama, turning way late down there. We do have a pretty stiff headwind. He probably turned 575, for those of you who know what that means. Nice sharp turn in, cross the wakes. There's a big leap. The buoy landed just past us at 142 feet, so probably looking in the low 150s there on jump number 1 for Zach. Now that he's slowing down and on a shorter ramp for the collegiate competition portion.
152 feet, 152
So
feet.
152 feet, 152. He's these slower speeds let him get a whole lot later. So he's already seen the ramp twice last night and some practice rides on Friday as well. So he's quite comfortable out here now and knows exactly what timing he needs to do to put out that maximum distance. Yeah, Emily, this is this site is a PB city for a lot of people, including Lauren Morgan, our one of the top, if not the top, women's jumper in the nation right now. She PB'd in her team trials run with 175 foot, going 34 miles an hour on a 5.5 foot ramp. So this ramp is very fast. And the big boats give the jumpers plenty of swing speed to maximize those distances. Okay, so Zach coming in for jump number 2. Again, going past the 600, but takes it down the lake, actually, it looks a little bit. Maybe turning around 580 to 590 instead of 575. Maybe turn, nice, good, strong turn. Oh, that's shorter though. You know, he'd taken it back down the lake quite a bit, and it looks like his distance may have suffered on there. Probably closer to 143, 144. Again, his first jump at a 152. So now he'll have to figure it out in his head with the wind conditions and everything happening here, which again are
140 feet. 140 feet.
So 140 for Zach's number 2. He's lost 12 feet, so he's going to need to bring that counter cut way further down the lake again. See if he can push his distance closer to 160 here for jump number 3. 40. So again, we're in the 9th round of jump here at All-Stars. This is Zach Cashel on the water, going to come in for jump number 3. His best jump so far is a 152, which puts him in the leaderboard right now with Dane Beckler, who went way back in the 5th round, putting out a 150-foot leap. So Zach Cashel coming in for 3rd and final jump. Pulls out for his timing buoys. Man, he even turned about the same spot, about 585 or so. Not bringing it super far down the lake anymore, but he has a very pretty turn there. Across the wakes, oh, but not quite right. Like we said, that counter was just a little too early, we think, and ended up early at the ramp and had to pass or risk a very nasty crash. So Zach will finish with a 152 as his best jump, still on the leaderboard, and with the competitors that are left on the dock, looks pretty good for a podium spot.
What's the first one?
52.
52? Okay.
But then you went out and started, you didn't bring it down the lake, you went the other way.
Oh, I was perfectly fine with the first one. I didn't need anything else.
So there you go, from Zach's mouth directly. He didn't want anything more than what he got. He didn't. It's a weekend and he didn't crash, so he's happy. It's a successful weekend. He didn't even crash on the Pine Ride. Again, air temperatures a little cooler again, probably low, mid 60s or so with a perfect headwind for jumpers. The water is quite a bit warmer though, hanging around 70 or so, so it's not uncomfortable being in it. Just not for long periods of time, and not something you want to just hang out in your inner tube right now.
Okay, Jay Morris, 31-7, fast.
And we have reached our 10th round with our first competitor in the 10th round, Jay Morris from the host, Western Washington University in the Western region. Jay had a team trials ride 2 days ago where she PB'd jump, also at 5'32", so exact same conditions. She had a 129. So if she could replicate that, that would put her into the lead with just a couple other girls behind her for the podium. Some of our top jumpers from team trials electing not to jump today in All-Stars, so that they've stopped jumping 5 foot now officially, so they can start training for bigger tournaments like the Masters and all their other summer work that they do. So we're not going to get to see Lauren Morgan today, or skiers like Erica Lang. Brittany Greenwood jumped earlier. South Central region choosing to jump earlier in the day instead of at the end, counting on a little better weather conditions. And so far that's not necessarily true. It's been cool with the solid headwind all day.
Hey, Cotto, can you hear this radio? Are you on the dock still?
So once again, Jay with a PB 2 days ago at 129 with the same settings. Little warmer conditions, the sun out a little bit more, but
Somebody on the dock verify if there's gas in those cans.
that was also in a tailwind situation. So now that the wind shifted to a headwind, she can just get a little bit more lift off the top of the ramp. Maybe get a couple more feet out of it. Jay Morris.
Jump 737772.
Jay gets over the ramp on her first attempt.
Dick, there is also some gas in the back of Terry's truck, which is right there by the house.
Waiting on a distance for Jay's first jump. Jay waving to the crowd, waving to the camera.
What was the distance on that one? 116.
116 for Jay, so 116, solid first jump for her, just figuring out the wind and the timing. Coming in, she got 2 more to back that one up. I think we're going to see her push it into the 120s. We'll see if she can hit a PB again. Right now, she's a current Collegiate Northwest Conference for the Western Region jump record holder. Lots of qualifiers there, but she's a big-time jumper for this area at 121 feet back in her freshman year. So she's finishing up her junior year right now. So it's been a while since we've seen really big jumps out of Jay, but I think its conditions are such that we could see it here right now. That was probably a bigger jump. That's probably going to be in the 120-foot range. Hey, LB, welcome to Washington. It is quite beautiful out here. When the sun breaks through the clouds, it's a day that'll rival the best ones of California.
123 feet, 120.
So 1-2-3 for Jay. So that officially makes her a two-time record holder for the Northwest Conference in the Western region now at 123 feet. 6 feet shy of her PB, which, like I said, she did 2 days ago. So she's got more in her. We'll see how much further she can take it. Mother Connie, our chief judge today, cheering her on from the shore. People are coming in and out. I've had up to about 10.
Yeah, I had 8, and now my phone's about to die.
Yeah, mine is too. I'm going to get my computer back out and do what I did last night.
Oh, that's a good idea. I just asked her if you could get my extension cord. Go grab me one.
All right, so Jay's third and final attempt.
The wind's also messing.
3/4 cut. All right, up and over safely, riding away. Probably about the same distance, maybe a little bit further. We'll wait to hear the report here. But in any case, that was a record-setting run for her. So she'll be quite proud with that, quite pleased. She's had an amazing weekend. 1-2-0, so her best jump will be a 1-2-3 in a new Northwest Conference record. And actually, we've just heard that actually is the last jumper. So at 123 feet, I believe that's going to put her into second place for women's jump, right behind Riley Dalton at 127. So congratulations, Jay and Riley. I don't know who's going to take our third place. We'll have to check the leaderboard and get back to you. We will have plans to do another live feed here for the awards ceremony, assuming that there's enough of the awards winners still here on site. We've definitely thinned out, as you can tell from last night. Again, travel from the Northwest back to the rest of the country quite difficult, so people have been having to slowly make their way out of here to make their flights or travels back to wherever they came from. Lots of skiers, especially in the Western region, are still actually in school right now and have tests, finals, and graduation coming up next week. So while it's always fun to stay at the lake as long as you can, sometimes other pressing matters require you to go home. So Jay Morris, again, with our wrapping up our women's jump event with a 123. Riley Dalton with 127, and probably by memory, it's going to be a Brittany Greenwood. It's probably going to be the 3 girls on the top of the podium. We do award top 5, but those are going to be our top 3 girls. And I am at 10% battery right now, so I'm going to put the phone down. You guys can go follow Christy Kingsmill for a moment or two, but right now there's still some holdup on the dock. But if you want to follow Christy Kingsmill's feed while I find power for my phone, I'm going to leave the feed going until then. So welcome back. Sorry for the small delay. Had to get the phone going. So Christy's still trying to get her feed up and running. These are just some experimental webcasts we got going on with Facebook Live. Turned out great last night. Looks like there's been nearly 400 views of our All-Stars event last night. So thanks for sticking by and watching and continuing to watch and rewatch, retweet, repost all those social media feeds. It looks like to be some kind of slight delay, most likely for gas. Make sure that we are able to finish the event. We have been running that boat since about 8:30 this morning without stopping yet. So probably just need to drop in a few more gallons of gas to make sure that we can push through, especially with these top jumpers and their big letters, making that boat speed, the speed swing, massive increase to push out these distances as far as we can go. Again, we're seeing, by memory, we've seen a 152 from Zach Cashel and a 150 from Dane Meckler. Dane going much earlier in the day. To memory, we've seen 224-foot leaps, one by our tournament director, Matt Kienbaum, which was a 23-foot PB, and from the East, Alabama's Josh Kelly. Or Florida's Josh Kelly. And indeed it is a gas situation for the boat, just to make sure that we don't run out. So it'll be just a few more minutes while they dump some petrol. About 3 competitors left on the dock. So somewhere in the realm of about 20 minutes left of the event. It's all about if we end up with any ties at the end. Everything's printed in that bag. You can go if you want to set them up right now, and if there's any ties and jump, I'll print them out and redo them really quick. Yeah, that bag has all of them. Everything else is done there. I just need maybe another copy of what the actual scores are, so we can announce them from there.
If I need, do you have something you know?
I don't think I have enough. I need to get some of this. It's like we have some kind of a sit-up competition happening with Team Midwest down the lake. Don't know if you guys can quite make that out or not. Here we go. Not sure who's in the lead. Nobody wins at the end because your abs just hurt. You see a lot of cheating going on with those arms flapping around though. So on the dock getting ready is the second half of the Morris group, Robert Morris. I do believe the West will have one more competitor after Robert. Actually, in fact, we could have a few more than just 3 guys left. We might have several more. I think we got the women's rounds ended up going quite a bit faster as there were less competitors. Staring down the lake looks more like a Ryan Fitzpatrick getting ready to put his skis on. It is what I thought it was, and it'll be Ryan Fitzpatrick going off the dock. Last night, another one of our competitors, he was a competitor in our night jump challenge, going 125 feet on a 5'32". So 125 in the dark. We'll see what he can do in daylight. So bringing Ryan in for his first attempt. And taking a pass on jump number 1. I would think there should be.
People are asking, they want to watch. They don't know the Sunday.
Go to NCWSA.
If I do that, it's only got Christie's. They're saying it's only this 2-minute video that Christie has right here. It's not live. It's archived.
Those of you that are out there watching, we have other people that are trying to tune in. Can you post here really quick on where you found this video? Because apparently we're having some issues finding it on my personal Facebook page or the NCWSA Facebook page. So where did you guys find me out there? Got 4 of you watching at least. So somebody type in, let me know where you found me and where we can send other people to find me. So Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to come in for jump number 2. Pat taking a pass on jump number 1. Again, 125 foot last night in the dark, but same boat and ramp settings, 32.5. So successful jump number 2 for Ryan Fitzpatrick. We'll wait on the distance to come in. Two coming at 122 foot for Ryan Fitzpatrick's second attempt there. So only 3 feet shy of where he had at night last night. Be able to push it out there a little bit further on this 3rd attempt. Ryan, a sophomore today, has finished up his sophomore year at ASU. Will be a junior next year. So 3rd and final attempt for Ryan Fitzpatrick. 123 in the books. Or, I'm sorry, 122 in the books. That was a bigger jump, people. That was that I think is probably going to reach into that 130 mark. We're warning the connection's weak, so sorry if the video's skipping around at all. Oh well, not quite as far as I thought, but actually matching his jump from last night at 125 foot. So light or dark, Ryan jumps the same. But I also think that pushes him into contention for a podium spot, now being all alone at 125 foot, with two guys at 124 tied right behind him. So Ryan looking for a potential, right now sitting in 3rd, behind Zach Cashel and Dane Meckler. Like a few more skiers to go. Midwest has a couple big jumpers. I know the Western region has 2 more big jumpers behind him. And the East has at least 1 more, or 2 more jumpers behind him as well, and Sam Greenwood and Ryan Santiago Barras. All right, we have Grant Shipper coming on the water from the Midwest. Again, pretty much all these big boys jumped last night, getting the rare opportunity as a collegiate athlete to do a one of these night jump events. Borderline Lake being very gracious and generous to do that for these guys. Threw up 14 skiers on the water last night. If memory serves, he went 130 foot in the dark. Grant Shipper coming in for jump number 1. That won't put him, I think that's probably going to be about a 120 or so, 120 foot jump for Grant. Get an official distance for you. Didn't look quite as far as Ryan's last jump, so. Yeah, and 119 for Grant's opening jump, so. The advantage he has over Ryan now is that he went over on his first jump. He knows what the kind of score, what kind of timing gets him to 120, so he's going to look to push that a little further, 130, 140 feet, I bet. Alright, so Grant's second attempt coming back. And a much bigger jump from Grant right there. High 130s, easily into the high 130s, and he's loving it. He's got the fist pump, he's screaming, hooting, and hollering. He knows that was a good jump for him.
Second jump with a 7.7, an 8.1, and a 7.1.
So Grant feeling it out there right now.
133 feet.
133, so not the high 130s, but putting him past Ryan Fitzpatrick now into third place with a 133 foot jump, and he's stoked. So that must be somewhere close to a PB for him. And he has more to go. Getting some coaching tips up here. 133.
You can fly here.
Borderline Lake, the Goodman's home site, where you come to jump. One of the stiffest, fastest ramps in the country. going in for his third jump. Again, this is I think we should be in about the 9th round for men at this point. And that one's gonna be a little bit shorter. Not gonna match his 133, but definitely a PB run for him. Nice, clean, stylish step out on shore. Doesn't even have to get wet. Nope. Continuing to get more people. So some people are finding us somehow. So a 122 on Grant's final jump. So he'll hold on to that 133, putting him solidly into 3rd place at the moment. But lots of competitors, still about 5 or 6 more competitors behind him that can challenge him and still knock him off the podium. Regardless of what happens, when you set a personal best, it's always a good day on the lake. So it looks like we have an Eastern Region skier getting ready to leave the dock. Most likely Sam Greenwood.
Sam Greenwood.
And it is Sam Greenwood getting ready to leave the dock.
3 sets of 5.5, 35, and now
He's gone off the ramp 3 times this weekend already with team trials and night jump at 5.5 foot ramp, 35 miles an hour, top speed. So now we bring it back down to collegiate levels, 5 foot 32. So he's gonna take a poke at this because he's gonna think he's going really late now. That boat going much slower. He's gonna have a lot more time to make his turn and get over the ramp. So we could see a really big jump out of Sam here, going 183 during team trials 2 days ago. 165 feet last night. So don't know that we're going to see a 160s today. He does need to go 152 or better to take the lead from his regional teammate, and actually teammate Zach at 152. We'll see how much his first jump, timing's going to be quite different because he's seen this ramp all weekend at 35 miles an hour. So slowing down almost 10%. Actually, right a little bit more than 10% slowdown in speed. And changing it up to go to full double cuts now, just to help get that extra width and speed at the base of the ramp. He's been going 3/4 cut the rest of the weekend at 35 miles an hour. Nice big late turn. Up and over, nice lift. Right landing at about that same 140s mark. That buoy that everybody seems to be landing close to is marked at 142 feet. So maybe just a hair shy behind that.
747972. First jump in the book. 100. Can you repeat that, please? 139.
So 139 for Sam's first jump. 139. So he needs to add 13 feet to catch his teammate Zach Cashel. 152. But like we said, his timing here is quite a bit different. He's had 3 sets or more, including some practice rides. He's probably had 4 or 5 looks at this ramp at 35 miles an hour. Now he's just got to figure out what the timing is here at 32. And with this headwind and everything else, that's kind of unique to today. So Sam Greenwood of the Eastern Region, 9th round Eastern Region skier. And at the rate we're going, he may have to close down this feed and open up a new one. So if you're following us and we shut down, and I shut down, you'll just have to find the page again and get the updated chart. Facebook only has an hour. You can only do an hour and a half at a time on Facebook Live here. So we'll capture as much as we can. Much bigger jump, big and lofty on that one. Way past that 142-foot buoy. I think he's caught and passed his teammate. That's probably in the mid 150s. He's pushing a 160 right there. $154 feet, 164 feet, 164. So he's got that timing all but figured out now, and I think it's possible he could push it even a little further. I think we've seen some 170s out of Sam and some of the other major college events so far in his career. We'll see how far he wants to push it here after such a successful weekend.
Can you hear me now?
Feeling good out there on the ramp. Been getting coaching from Mark Blaine all weekend on all 3 events. Professional skier Mark Lane.
164, thank you.
So yes, a 164 in the books now for Sam Greenwood. Solidly in first place by 12 feet. Hey.
Do you know, I asked Lindsay, and she said to ask you if you have an extra, I've never been on this. If you have an extra large that I can give my brother.
I think I do. They're in the boxes in the containers back there. You can go look through. If there is one, you can hook up.
A large, or maybe even an extra large.
I think there might be one of each, but you have to dig through and check. Okay, so Sam Greenwood, jump number 3. Not quite as far as jump number 2, I think. Maybe probably high 150s there. The last one was 64. So Sam will finish. One of our top competitors of the day, 164 feet. Yeah, so that was a 150 for Sam's 3rd and final jump. So he finishes at a 164. So a great successful weekend for Sam. Look forward to seeing plenty more out of him in the not so distant future. On the water, or on the dock, putting his skis on, getting ready to go out now, looks to be Robert Morris. Our chief judge's son in his final All-Stars appearance here. He was a team trial skier as well. Unfortunately, due to he is a non-qualified team trial skier, so to fill some spaces, we had him ski. So he's seen the ramp a couple times this weekend already at 5.5 and 35 miles an hour, just like Sam. He was a night jump competitor.
Robert Morris, 32.
So again, basically the last time we're going to see Robert at 5'32" for probably somewhere in the next 10 to 15 years, until he reaches that men's 3 age. And he's required to go back down. So this is him celebrating his last collegiate jump set. Oh, Scott, you just joined. You missed your boy by like 5 minutes. He literally just finished his set, but solidly in first place at 164. You can these are archived on Facebook, so you can rewatch, and he'll be about the 1 hour mark. So right now we have teammates Scott Greenwood and Zach Cashel in first and second respectively with a 164 and a 152. So right now we have Robert Morris, graduate of San Diego State and Western Region skier, looking to challenge that spot. Put himself on the podium with just a few more competitors left on the dock. Oh, you did see it. Good. Robert coming in with a solid opening jump. Very similar to Sam Greenwood's there. Probably in the high 130s. Yeah, Britt already skied. She skied much earlier in the day. The South Central all registered their skiers to ski first thing. I don't have her score. Can only imagine that she is one of those top, if not the top podium spot, with Lauren Morgan choosing not to ski 32.5 today and instead continue to focus at 34.5.5 for the upcoming Masters in 2 weeks. Hey, you're welcome, Michael.
100, but I think that was further than that. 134.
So 134 for Robert's opening jump. 134.
134. 134. Perfect. Thank you very much. 134.
Yeah, Michael, really is no excuse. You should, just you know, our schedule's not hidden. You can buy a ticket and come join us anytime you want. We're happy to have you.
Hey, Lucy, this is Ron Goodman driving and John Cotton judging. I'm sorry for whoever's in the scoring business. Thank you.
Really?
So 134 for Robert's opening jump.
Gotcha, John.
Come in.
And a little bit better on that one. Pushed it, got himself a few more feet. Not quite the delta that Sam had, but probably pushing that closer to 140.
7.2. 7.5, 7.9, 7.2. 136 feet, 136.
136, so not a huge delta there, just a 2 foot better. Every little bit helps though. Definitely starting to stretch out for that podium spot for him. Again, we reward top 5. So at 136 foot, we got a 164, 152, a 150, and a 136, which would be Robert, followed by 133, set by Grant Shipper just a few skiers ago. So Robert, right now, one of those skiers on the bubble for a podium spot at the end of the day. He has a teammate in Curtis Williams to come up that could challenge him. He's got Santiago Varas from the East. Who else from the Midwest has yet to go? Who's our last Midwest jumper? Andy Schmidt from the Midwest.
And Ari Grody.
And Ari Grode, or Grody.
But Andy's the top seed.
Oh, there's 2 Midwest skiers to go? Okay, so yeah, Robert's sitting on the bubble here with a 136. He's gonna try to get himself. He needs to get himself over that 150 if he wants a chance at a medal at All-Stars. And not gonna hit that 150 mark, but looking closer to that 140 mark.
Third jump with a 7.5, an 8.0, and a 7.1. 7.5, 8.0, 7.1.
So 139, doesn't quite reach the 140s, but 139 feet, solid jumping for Robert at 32.5 in his final collegiate jump event. saying Jay's 123 is a free conference record. He had it 121 the freshman year.
Hey, Christy, can Riley break Midwest records here?
Oh, let's see why not. Because you could break them at nationals.
She demolished the record.
Think about that.
Riley Dalton on the shore.
Dane, 150. That's huge for you, no?
That was fun. It was so good, though.
Especially after last night.
I know, right? That's what's even more. They were like, "Are you screaming?" I was like, I didn't carry myself all the way out here for nothing. This is my first set of the year.
So there you go. First set of the year for Dane, and he goes 150.
All right, this is Andy Schmidt coming out at 32 in the fast second.
All right, Midwest top-seeded skier here today, Andy Schmidt. Their planned 10th spot, Brian Deddy, unfortunately crashing hard last weekend and doing some bodily damage, so couldn't join us here this weekend. And we miss you if you're watching. If you tune in later, we miss you. We wish you well. Hope you get well soon, and we'll see you in the fall. How many there's so probably after Andy's jump here, we're gonna close down this feed because we're approaching that hour and a half mark. We're at hour 13 right now, so that we get all the rest of the competitors cleanly. We'll shut down this feed and open up a new one to get these final 4 or 5 jumpers for you. But we'll stay connected all the way through Andrew Schmidt's jump set. Getting on the tail a little bit on the ramp there, so not getting all the distance he wanted. Still a big jump, carried a lot of speed, got a lot of lift, just on his heels a little bit.
Alright, we have ourselves the first jump at the 7-3, 7-8, 7-3. 7-3, 7-8, 7-3. 131 feet.
So 131 for an opening jump with a couple errors in there. So we could easily see a 140s out of him if it gets cleaned up. I believe Andrew jumped last night at 130 foot. So he's already exceeded his night jump event, going slower on shorter ramp. So congratulations there. I think like 4 more after Andrew. We got Santiago, Curtis, and Ari. I think I'm sorry, 3 more. So Andrew Schmidt, second jump. Little better body position there. Got a few more feet out of it. Starting to approach that 142-foot buoy. Still a few feet short of it, but that might mid 130s. I'm gonna call.
Second step with a 7-4, a 7-8, a 7-2. 7-4, 7-8, 7-2.
Yeah, Ari Grode is a write-in for him because Bryant's not here. Grode, G-R-O-D-E. He's in the tournament elsewhere. So you can just add him to the registration file and then add him to the jump team. Waiting on a distance for jump number 2 to come in.
$29.
129. So 129 feet. Actually lost a couple feet on that one. So he's gonna he's been thinking it over this whole ride down about how he can push himself just a little bit further and up into that leaderboard. Like we said, we have 3 competitors left. So Sam Greenwood at 164, Zach Cashel at 152, Dane Meckler at 150, and then we believe it's Robert Morris at 139. And Grant Shipper at 133. So Grant on the bubble right now. Oh! And a good out the back. Really one of the biggest crashes we've seen so far this weekend. At least in tournament. Popped the skis off, rocked him a little bit, but he seems to be okay standing up. You do see the lake is not that deep. A little more than waist deep, 3.5 foot or so. Does seem to be okay. Just disappointed more than anything. He'll finish with a 131-foot leap. That's 6.2 liter nautique, really pulling those guys into the ramp, and sometimes they just lose the handle on it right at the base and throw themselves out the back like you just saw. So they'll give him the courtesy of a ride back just to make sure that he's all checked out at the shore, but the way he's moving looks pretty good. Not like we all haven't done that before. Any of us have gone over the ramp, have gone out the back at least once in our lives, so we're used to what that's like. Gives a wave to the crowd, lets us know he's all okay. Not the first crash of the day, but maybe one of the better ones. Especially because we caught it on film.
On that last one, there's a 75 and 80, 70. 75, 80, 70.
We're going to close this feed. We only have 10 more minutes left and about 3 skiers. That's a couple skiers more than we'd be able to fit in this 10-minute window. So we're going to close down right now, and I'll reopen one just as fast as I can. Just find. So we're back now with Collegiate All-Stars, the final edition. Final 3 skiers getting ready to go off the water. We should be seeing Santiago Varas, top jumper from the east out of Alabama, and actually a local guy here from the Washington and Seattle area. Chilean skier. So he's from all over. We have him going from all over the place. Chilean skier from Washington, currently skiing in the eastern region at Alabama. Night jump champion from last night, 181 feet at night, 35 miles an hour, 5.5 foot ramp. A team trials non-eligible skier, going 100, our biggest jump in team trials at 184 feet. And so that easily makes him our top seeded jumper here in this event. He's going to be looking to challenge the 164 set by his teammate Sam Greenwood. Again, behind our 6.2 liter ski Nautique 200. It's a beautiful boat. Got to drive it myself earlier today. Handles wonderfully. That switch engages for these jumpers and it just gets loud and fast. So welcome back. A couple of you have found us so far. So coming in for jump number 1, Santiago Varas. Turning about the 570 or so, much like his other teammate, Zach Cashel, getting a nice late turn on a counter. Good big lofty jump there, probably in the 150 range. Not too far past that 142-foot buoy. We'll wait for the official distance to come in.
A 7.5, a 7.8, and a 7.1.
Again, looking for 164 or better to challenge his teammate Sam Greenwood for the top podium position. Grant Chipper.
151 feet, 151 feet.
So a 151. So that puts him in third place right now. Right now it's an all-Alabama podium with Sam Greenwood, Zach Cashel, and Santiago Varas in the top 3 spots. So we've come around the island, and Santiago Varas coming in for jump number 2. Again, he's seen this ramp several times this weekend at 35 miles an hour. And being a local boy, he's seen it plenty before that at probably those same top speeds. So slowing it down for college, he's getting himself late, making a good strong turn and across the wakes. Up and over, getting good kick and lift, floaty. There you go. There's going to be that 160 range, much closer to the leaderboard on that jump.
Here we got ourselves a second jump with a 7.5, a 7.9, and a 7.1. 7.5, 7.9, 7.1.
So again, it currently sits as an all-Alabama podium for 1 through 3. We'll see how those standings change, though. 161. So now that puts him in second place behind his teammate Sam Greenwood with one more jump to go. Final attempt for the gold medal. Again, he was our farthest jumper in team trials. He was our farthest jumper in night jump. with a 184 and a 181, but those are 35 miles an hour and a 5.5-foot ramp. These college settings kind of level the playing field out for these top-end jumpers. So Santiago Varas, third attempt. I'm not sure that'll do it. It was a big jump, but I'm not sure that's going to hit the 164 mark. We'll wait for the score to come in. But either way, right now our top 3 spots are all held by the Eastern region in Alabama.
7.5 and a 7.2. 155.
155. So he finishes in second place behind his teammate, but he won't be disappointed with that. As long as Alabama is on the podium, they'll be happy. Second to last skier coming off the water, Curtis Williams, freshman out of San Diego State, dual citizenship New Zealander, but with the full dual citizenship but full accent. He's been one of our main announcers all weekend, and one of our main announcers for our region all year so far. Does a great job with that. Spoiler last night he was the spoiler for Alabama last night, stealing that third podium position away from Zach Cashel with a 164, beating him out just by a foot. So he spoiled the Alabama podium sweep. He's going to try and do that again, trying to put himself 153 or better, or I'm sorry, 151 or better would put him in third place. I don't think he's done that yet, anything in college yet this year. I think his best collegiate score so far is a 147, so he's not far off. And much like the rest of our competitors, he's seen this ramp several times this weekend, having gone in team trials and night jump already. But again, now he has to slow it back down off of a shorter ramp and figure out a way to get himself out there past that 151 mark. I'm sorry, past the 153 mark. 150 is set by Dane Meckler. So big jumps this weekend here at All-Stars. Wave to the camera. He knows when he's on film, that's for sure. Sergey said he was going to. There's a bag of them up here if you want to start getting them laid out. So Curtis Williams, jump number 1. Just past that 142 buoy, so I'll call it about 145. He's going to need somewhere 8 to 10 more feet in order to challenge one of those top 3 spots. And even get himself a medal here.
75, 81, 72.
Definitely a close race to the finish.
145, 145.
So it is a 145-foot leap. So he's we have a 164, 161, 152, 150. And I believe that puts him into 5th place at a 145. So he gets himself a medal, but he's looking to change its color. Curtis Williams, San Diego State, freshman, 145 foot. Believe that puts him in the 5th spot right now. Our second to last jumper on the water, going for his 2nd jump. Curtis Williams, jump 2, and amazingly, he has that 145 on a 3/4 cut, with all the other top competitors have been going to doubles. So, it just shows what this kid is actually capable of. About the same distance on that one, still in that mid-140 ranges, so he's not challenging the leaderboard just yet, although he is in that 5th spot with one competitor to go.
7.5, an 8.0, and a 7.1. 75, 80, 85, sorry, 75, 80, 71. 143.
143, so actually just a couple feet behind his first jump. Looking to improve upon it. He needs to basically go 10 more feet better than that jump to get himself up into 4th place. Or, I'm sorry, 3rd place. Oh, and they've stopped the boat. Could be a camera issue or other judges issue going on. Make sure that everything's happy. Boat maybe just needed to check some settings or something or other with the skier. Make sure that everybody was comfortable with what was going to happen.
All right, Tower, we have the boat shut down, and but we still got a half tank of fuel, so we're letting her up
Just
again.
sounds like it was just a small air bubble in the fuel line or something that shut the power down momentarily. So Curtis is going to come back now for a 3rd and final attempt. Try to catch 4th place now. He needs a 150 or better, and then a 152 or better to get into 3rd place. Don't know that he's going to catch our 2nd or 1st with a 160, a jump into the 160s. Curtis Williams, jump 3. And all about the same. So a very consistent jumper there. Into that mid-140s range.
All right, so we got a 7.5, an 8.0, and
And our final jumper of the day, for the competition at least, is going to be Ari Grode from the Midwest. Ari's actually replacing the Midwest top jumper, Bryant Deddy, who unfortunately went down with a bad crash last weekend and wasn't able to participate with us here this weekend. So we miss you, Bryant. I hope get well soon, and we'll see you in the fall. So that means that we're not necessarily expecting Ari to be challenging the leaderboard, but
We got a distance?
we won't say anything just yet.
Sorry, it was 146. 146.
146 feet will be Curtis's final jump distance. So 146 is going to be 5th place from what we imagine. No, it's not in the standards. Well, I thought it wasn't supposed to be in the standards because it's a team award. It's like who gets to take it home.
I got a bunch of them, like Christy was.
All right.
I have the one from 2009. Detrick got cut off the tips of those
Ari
ball
Grody,
screws and put a little plaque on the top of them.
31-7, return to baseline. All right. Midwest. Our final jumper.
So once again, our final jumper from the Midwest, final jumper for the tournament, everybody's favorite jumper, announcing is not saying it's Bryant, but they don't have the updated running order. This is Ari. So those of you just joining, you are watching our final skier of the day, Ari Grode from the Midwest, replacement skier for the Midwest top 3 eventer, Bryant Deddy, injured, unable to join us. Ari getting up and over the ramp. Ari. A-R-I.
7689.
So a 73-foot jump. So Ari not a competitor that's going to be challenging our leaderboard, but still very important for the team scores. All-Stars unique in the college world in that we all 10 scores count per event. So 10 guys and 10 girls. That means nobody can mess up. No room for any errors. Your top skiers have to ski at their top level in order for your region to win. Eric Road coming in more of a super single than a 3/4. We're riding away, a second jump. Getting the fist pump, feeling good out there.
697889. 697889.
Just moments away from wrapping up this competition. We will try to do a Facebook Live event here for the award ceremonies, in which we're going to name our team trial skiers, the 6 skiers that will be going to Japan to represent the USA in the Collegiate World Competition, as well as our individual event and overall champions from the tournament weekend.
Is there a distance on that one? 72 feet? 72 feet.
So 72 feet, so right about the same as this first one with the 73. Not much of an adjustment for him out there.
So we're coming back for the final jump of the 2016 Bellingham Special. Almost in the books. One jump away. Lucy, you're almost ready to go home.
You know, we'd like to thank, while he's getting ready to come back in for his final jump, we'd like to thank Borderline Lake, the Western Washington University water ski team, the Goodman family, John, Lucy, Ron, Terry, Julie, the kids. I'd like to thank all of our appointed officials. There's lots of them, and honestly, I can't remember all their names. Sorry, guys, but we do appreciate all your work. Conley Skis, Malibu Boats, Nautique. Third jump. Goodman Skis and all of our other vendors, National Event Pros. They had some great tents and toys for the kids to play with all weekend. The NCWSA board, all of the regions, all of the skiers here that showed up this weekend. Big thank you. Successful event. One of the best attended All-Stars in the last several years. We look forward to doing it again very soon. And we're going to sign off right now. We'll be back online here in about 10 or 15 minutes with the awards ceremonies. So tune back in. Give us about 10 or 15. Keep an eye on us. And we'll see you soon.